Okay, you're good to go. Thank you.
Got it.
Oh,
I think you got to do it together.
We're good to go. Thank you so much.
Okay. Very good. I'm going to call, excuse me, this meeting of the Salem City Council Board and Commission Appointment Committee on November 24th, 2021 to order. Present are.
Mr. Mayor, I think you mean December 3rd.
Did I say? Oh, God, I'm looking at the date. I got the memo. Yeah.
You're living in the past.
Yeah. To order. President Bennett.
Hoy.
Anderson.
Gonzalez.
Okay, and staff. Well, we're going to go through and handle a batch of appointments today. I'd like to start. We're setting it up a little bit differently than we have in the past. We've got a series of reappointments, and generally we are moving those through. And I'd like to, unless there's any objection, you got a page labeled Summary of Reappointment Requests, December 3rd, 2021. If there aren't objections, just move these forward for reappointment. Okay, very good. Thank you. Okay, we'll go to the Citizen Budget Committee. We had an opening in Ward 4. We have an applicant for Ward 4, which makes it work really well. Andrew Cohen. Everybody okay with
Yep.
So a unanimous support for Andrew Cohen to go on to the Budget Committee?
staff.
Because I think we'll be
was
doing
excited.
Will we be doing an interview on him or just straight on the
No, we
board?
just put him on.
Okay.
Unless you guys want an interview, it's up to you.
No.
Mr. Mayor,
Okay.
I happen to know his supervisor in reference, and if she's gonna, Kara Biddlecombe, and if she's gonna be a reference, when you look at his qualifications, yeah, I think we can just put him on.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Agreed.
Okay, the CATSI board is two reappointments. Is that correct?
Yes, that you've already.
Already done. So we'll move
Well,
on.
we've got one full term
Where
with
is it?
two applicants.
First.
It's under
These are the
vacancies.
applicants.
Those are the two applicants for one full term vacancy, if
Very
you're
good.
interested.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, we've got one full term. Does anyone have a preference here? Have you had a chance to take a look at them?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I've looked at them both, and I think they're both good candidates, but I don't know if they're good candidates for this particular position. I especially look at the person who, Philip, I don't know how you pronounce his name, but he
Kennedy
is,
Schultz or Thone?
Thone, yeah.
They'll call him Thones today.
Okay, and he seems like a pretty good person for maybe the police review board, and I don't know if we have any openings on the police review board.
We do not have. I think
What
that's
is it,
the
Linda,
chief.
doing?
Is that a police chief's committee?
No, that's
No,
the Citizens Police Review Board.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, this is CATSI.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd take the guy that you think would be better on CATSI, that might be more interested. CATSI is its own special thing. I didn't think either of these guys understood
No.
what they're signing up for.
and I agree. I think that the other guy, Kennedy Schultz, he doesn't quite have an understanding. He thinks he's going to be doing broader things than looking at speed limits and
Yeah, and stop signs.
yeah, and parking and that kind of
Yeah,
stuff. I
yeah.
think he thinks it's overall planning and the whole of all the transportation network in the city, and that's not what this does. So I don't know.
I tell you, the one thing that's attractive about Kennedy Schultz is he's from Ward 1, and a lot of this stuff occurs in Ward 1 and in Jose's ward. These parking issues or traffic issues tend to occur on those streets. So he's in the right
Yeah.
he's in the right pew. He may not know he's
Yeah.
at the right.
He's a little overqualified, but that might be good.
What the heck?
Yeah, I'd go along with him. I don't know what the rest of the board members.
Yeah,
think.
I'm good with Kenneth Kennedy Schultz. Yes.
Okay, how about you, Jose? Are you okay?
Yeah,
Okay,
definitely.
we'll notify him then.
And Mr.
And
Mayor.
we'll
if we
wait to
could
hear
kinda
back
keep-
from him on what the heck is this, I guess.
Yeah. He'll be surprised at his first meeting. Let's eliminate parking on the south side of Commercial Street or whatever. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. Next one is the Community Police Review Board. We have reappointed Lori Lawson and Carlos Flores. And then we have 3 full-term positions and 1 alternate position. We have 4 applicants.
3 of whom you've reviewed previously.
And I believe Leah Brooks, did she end up going to Human Rights? What happened with her?
Yes, you actually just yesterday appointed her to the Human Rights Commission. So she had applied for several boards and commissions. And so she has evidently been attending and participating in those meetings. And so the mayor appointed her to that group instead.
Okay,
Then I move we appoint the 3 applicants.
Yeah.
If we got 3 for 3 positions now. I thought Ms. Brooks was better suited for something else and she
Okay.
is now. Yeah.
is everyone okay then? That would have us doing Jose Pena, Jacob Crosby, and Tracy Powell to the Police Review Board.
That's fine.
Okay, everybody okay?
Okay.
Okay, very good. Downtown Advisory Board. We have reappointed Vincenzo Maduri and Alan Pollock. And we have 1 full-term at-large position and 1 full-term position representing a business or property owner. I'd really like to recommend Scott Hosner as the
Absolutely.
business owner.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
agree. I agree.
Great.
He's also a downtown resident, which I think
Right, I mean,
is helpful as well.
Scott, I think would do a real good job there.
Is
The
Agreed.
other one that we've gotten strong positives on is Kirk Sund. As you know, he would be the at-large position, has a business in the downtown, but it is not a resident.
Mr. Mayor, I was confused when I saw that. I was thinking it was the son who ran for Ward 7, but this is his
It is not.
his cousin or
Is
something.
it a cousin? Okay.
Yeah.
I went through the same thing. I said, now this name's really familiar to me.
Yeah.
And
And his uncle, the current candidate's uncle is very active in SCAN. And it was his son who was the Ward 7 candidate. And
Oh, I see.
I knew his name.
This is the cousin from West Salem, I think. I also think the other one to potentially discuss of the ones we had is Scott Roth, who's an architect downtown. Those are the only, he and Hosner were the 2 that I thought, and I've forgotten that Sund had applied. We got a later email from him.
Yes, he
Yeah.
just
Well-
applied a couple days ago.
So according to his application, he works at the same place that Carl Roth does.
Yes.
So that seems a little bit, I don't know that we want to do that.
Yeah.
2 people from the
Do
same.
you have a preference?
No.
Yeah, I didn't have any. We got, we've had a solid suggestion that Kirk would be good, but this is not a one that Hosner is the guy I'm most familiar with. And then beyond that, I don't know everybody. I know Kirk, I have met him. He's an active community member. So this is one that you really want to make sure you've got somebody who'll show up.
Mr. Mayor, I don't know if this is appropriate or not, but I'll make it. If you're correct, if we have Mr. Roth and Mr. Sund are both from the same architecture group, why can't Linda call them up and say, you two decide who's going to be on it and we'll appoint? I don't know if that's appropriate or not.
I could do that, or Cherie would be, as the staff liaison, would be another possibility. She liked Kirk's application, quite honestly, but this is
I would-
your decision.
I would suggest we just go with him then and not leave it up to them.
Okay.
Let's just go with the staff recommendation then.
Yeah, I like your idea though, Tom. We'll try that again on one of these others if it comes up. I
Well-
hear exactly what you're saying, but why
And it
don't
would seem
we?
to me that would certainly be appropriate if in the future we have two people from the same
Exactly.
stuff, just say, one of you withdraw.
Yeah, do us a favor.
You wonder
yeah.
if one knew the other had applied already, or
Yeah.
if
Yeah,
that
yeah.
communication
That's just weird. I
existed.
mean, there's all sorts
is
of
curious.
internecine issues there that we don't want to get involved in.
Right. Well, what we'll do then is, unless there's objection, unanimously, we will unanimously appoint Scott Hosner and Kirk Sun to the Downtown Advisory Board. Okay? Any objections? Okay.
None.
The next is the Salem Cultural and Tourism Promotion Advisory Board. We have several vacancies, one full term and two partial terms.
Mhm.
And what do we got here, Linda?
Well, Kelly Thomas was an active member of the Historic Landmarks Commission. His term ends at the end of this year, and he decided not to request reappointment, but instead applied to this board. And he comes with favorable reviews from the Historic Landmarks Commission staff person, and the person who staffs this particular board is also excited about the prospects of him joining.
I'd suggest him as well. What I look for on these a lot is if they've been on another board, particularly a board or commission like this that has some pretty serious budgeting authority with us. They make a pretty substantial recommendation to us regarding the funding of a whole range of activities. Is somebody who'll show up. I've been on this board and chaired it years ago, and it has been both a really challenging and then other times not as wildly challenging, but getting people to really come to these meetings and be active participants. So Kelly has that kind of history. That's
So
what
I would suggest Kelly for the full term and then Jeffrey for the partial term ending in 23. Does
See how it does? Great.
Yes.
that work?
Yeah.
Okay.
Very good. Everybody okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Parks and Recreation. We have two full-term positions expiring in 2024 and one full term for an arboricultural expert.
So I would suggest I think we have two applicants. They both look good to me for the full-term positions. I don't think either of them are arboricultural experts. as far as
Alan
I know.
and Joan, are you
Yeah.
saying? Now,
Yeah.
I
Oh,
will.
I'm sorry. I was thinking Isaac. I forgot Joan applied as well. She was a late one also.
Yes.
Yeah,
So we
we
actually
have-
have three applicants.
Mm.
Yeah, we have three applicants for the two full-term positions. We've reappointed Dylan.
I'm very familiar with Joan's application as,
I am too.
yeah, and I think it's a good situation. She's got some time on her hands now due to her family situation.
What's happened?
Oh, Evan passed away about.
Did he pass away?
Yes.
Oh, I'm
about
sorry to hear
6
that.
months ago, so.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
That
And I
went right
noticed
by
by her
me.
address, it looks like she's moved from the big house they used to have there
Yeah.
on Court Street. So I like her a lot. I'm not sure who Isaac is. It's one of the. ones that
Isaac
came
is
to-
Virginia's husband.
Okay, okay.
I'm a little concerned about
I am too. So I think I say we go with Alan and Joan Lloyd for those two positions. I understand. I have some concerns about council members' spouse being on a committee, and I look at my own personal experience when at one point I was married to a city of Eugene employee, and it just seems to me those ought to be separate.
Okay. So what we've got is a proposal for Alan Holland and Joan Lloyd. I'll go along with that. Anybody?
I am too, but is Woody Dukes, is he still there? Isn't he the?
I think Woody's still on.
He's
Yeah.
terming out. That's the situation.
Okay, and he doesn't want to reapply again.
He is ineligible to apply
Okay,
after
okay.
2 full terms. He
Okay,
can after a year. So he may be back.
Yeah, I
but-
hope he's back. He's gonna be hard to replace.
Yeah.
Woody's,
I agree, but he fills that slot, obviously, you know.
yeah, he's done a great job.
Well, the other piece of that is a person is permitted to remain on the board until a replacement is named. So he could, if he chooses, stick around until a replacement is appointed.
And this is such a specialized position. We're lucky we have a guy like Woody who I think would probably just stick around for us.
Yeah. Yeah, I do too. He probably, if you could ask him, and then my guess is that he's termed out, so he just says, I can't do it.
Yeah, we'll make sure he gets it.
We
Yeah.
make sure we will make sure he knows that there's an option for him.
Okay.
Okay, are we okay then with Joan and Alan?
Yeah.
Everybody okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Salem Planning Commission. I would just suggest, just a thought, we haven't had a planning commission interview in a while. It might be real good to have an interview. I think we've got 2 that I would like to hear from. I'd really like to interview, and this is just me, just making a thought, and I'm not tied wildly to this, but Robert Bierma and Jordan Truitt, I'd like to hear. I think they'd be looking at a similar slot on the planning commission. The other folks, fine with me if we hear them. I'll be honest with you personally, I'm not real interested in non-residents on our planning commission. I worry a little about that. I think we got people who feel like these ought to be zoned anyway, that they're not representative enough. And I'm not sure that, frankly, that Logan brought everything we were looking for. I don't know him, and you might, Chris. I just don't know him.
I believe he's a former candidate for Ward 6.
Oh,
Back against maybe Daniel Benjamin before my time, if I'm thinking correctly.
I think you're right.
Daniel
I think you're
Benjamin,
right.
if we're talking about Logan Lore, he ran in that election. He's a Hmong.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think I would like to consider him.
Okay, why don't we pull in Logan Lore then for what the non-resident, I just soon not hear from, but we've got 2 openings. We've got 3 applicants. Give us a chance to interview them. 2 of them from the same business area in that more real estate area.
Mm-hmm.
Would that be okay?
Yeah, so.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Chris.
I'm very excited to have somebody from Ward 6, somebody
Yeah.
who is seeking participation.
Yeah.
So I definitely think he's worthy of an interview.
So
Do you want to hear from 2 realtors, or do you want to go with Jordan?
I'd like to hear from them both.
Would you? Okay.
I would say, just looking at it, I'm fine hearing with both of them. I thought Mr. Bierma was a little young for the position in terms of experience, but maybe he'll blow us away in the interview. And I know Jordan Truitt has been very interested. He's applied for some other boards, and I think it might have been the last time for the planning commission, and Dan Augustine, we appointed Dan
Yes.
instead of Jordan.
Jordan
Right.
has participated in an interview before.
Yeah, I know Jordan is he is really interested in this. I know
He's been
that.
lobbying all of the counselors already.
Yeah, which is fine with me. I think that shows a lot. Thank God somebody really wants one of these slots, you know?
He hasn't lobbied me, so I don't know what that says.
No, well, he may have tried to do a Zoom with you, man.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that was the problem. He used the internet, and so forget
Yeah, he
that.
tried that internet trick. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll get in touch with those three and we'll set them up for an appointment probably after the first of the year for an interview, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Public Art Commission. Zachary Hull is like from the art family of town, you know, it's kind of.
Well, as soon as I saw his name, I thought, well, is he Roger, and I'm sorry, I forget Mrs. Hull's name, Bonnie. See, Roger and Bonnie,
yeah.
And he is, and not only that, I'm pretty sure they live right next to each other.
Yeah.
On Court Street there. So I think this is great.
I do too. I was kind of, as soon as I saw his name, I knew that's what we had here. And I thought, well, what an interesting decision on his part.
Don't let his current employment position fool you, I guess, is the moral of that story.
Yeah.
So Zachary becomes the appointee to the Arts Commission. Any problems there? Everybody okay? Okay, and then the West Salem Advisory Board. What do we got there?
Well, I can explain if there are any questions on the one.
Well, what we've got, now what are these? Okay, I'm looking at the back page. Applicants.
Okay.
And they both are appropriate, right? Or not?
Ashley was brought in by Brittany Davidson Cruikshank, who has accepted a new position elsewhere and can no longer serve on this board. So Brittany has been a very active member according to the staff liaison, and he also thinks that this person that she has kind of recruited from Salem Electric to come in would be a good replacement.
Said, okay, we've really traditionally had someone from Salem Electric on that. They just play such an important role over there.
And I have to say also that I've had some contact in other city business with Jeremy Mackey, and I've really been impressed with him.
Great.
He's high energy guy. He's right there on
store.
Wallace at the Ace Hardware store. So he's in the core of that business.
Yeah. So would it be okay then? We'll appoint these two, Jeremy and Ashley.
Yep.
Everybody okay? Very good. That
would be it.
That is our business for the day. Is there anything other business you'd like to chat about? I'll tell you one thing I would mention. We really need to be sure counselors understand recruiting for this is enormously helpful. Particularly, like you were saying, Chris, getting someone from Ward 6 on planning is just, I mean, that's been a real long-term goal. So just to have somebody apply was a good sign. But I think making sure we get applicants is really important. We're still running a little low on applicants on some of these. But it's kind of one of our jobs is to try to beat the bushes. So,
yeah.
Okay.